I'm Jesús Valles, they, them. I am a fat Mexican with combination skin, which causes me problems. I am wearing a black shirt, and I have a blurry yellow background behind me. And I'll be reading some poems. Madera, Chihuahua, 1993. On our first visit to Madera, my uncle Oscar slit a pig's throat to welcome my mother home. Smiled his fool's gold glint, extending the cut down the pig's body with ease. I was his guest to the slaughter, to his ranch. Mijo, he said, kindly, and offered me the knife. I declined the invitation, but stayed, watched him gut our gift, the smell of the pig's body emptying anywhere it could. The ground, wearing its newly found guts, held steady the fire, the metal tub and boiling bath to make the kill much easier to cook. Later, I watched my cousin Oscar and his friends ride their bikes with fury, the carnage of freshly killed snakes tied to the bicycle's frame, dragging behind the pedaling swarm. Míralos, salvajes, my mother said, her comal and costura calloused hand accusing the boys outside of wildness, its cruelty. Así son los hombres aquí, salvajes. This must be manhood then, I thought. This must be nature. I watched the pack of almost men ride hard circles, the poor snakes leaving trails of themselves behind, petals on a dusty aisle. I was a boy in a kitchen and wanted to be nothing much older than that. These days, I wish I'd learned the steady hand, the cackle, the give of the pig's flesh, the snake's skin, the wildness. This next piece is Untitled Grant Application Draft. My story begins any way the grant committee would like to hear it. Anyway, the grant committee would like to hear that my story begins in the bowels of a truck seat, smuggled next to a less fortunate but equally dirty child. And when I say I arrived in one desert from another, the grant committee would like to imagine that my story begins with blistered feet and the sun cutting at the back of our necks and the want for water. For funding's sake, I should disclose which of my siblings starved, if any, and if possible, I should write my mother's back broken. Really, any other bodily alliteration and pity. I should find my father at the bottom of some endless bottle of whatever liquor makes it easier to spell spick on the check. It's best for publicity if there were not enough rooms for my family to hide shame from one another, roaches carrying the only English we could afford into the cracks of our walls, laying eggs in our ears that would later bloom from our heads as bouquets of Herbalife debt and payday loans. Above all, the grant committee would like me to be a virtuous Mexican, resilient and joyful enough to help any museum that may need me, a state-sponsored piñata that can make misery sing its sepia song. And sometimes, depending on the grant amount, I tell them the worst version of the country they made. And eventually, if I'm lucky, I use that money to fund that very nation too.